Just being with you, I feel happy. Milky Way out there is laughing at me, praying that time will just cease to move, baby. It's enough time to change your mind. Slowly, slowly, your gaze will be for me only. And maybe, maybe, oh maybe, you'll open up your heart for me, quite literally. Don't you see the gods and signs? Don't you see the stars are aligned? Your scent will be for me only. Yeah, your voice harmonized and right. Heartbeats resonate with mine. Your hands are to hold me dearly. Oh, and slowly, oh slowly, oh slowly, your gaze will be for me only. Oh maybe, oh maybe, oh maybe, you'll open up your heart for me, quite literally. What do you guys think? This is a love song. It's a love song. Hold the hand, I'm hoping the summer skies will still be here tomorrow. Still crashing North Star, I'm wishing. Hai, udah pada malam tidur ya? Singer, songwriter, dan words chronicler dari NIJISANJI ID. Namaku Reza, Avanluna. Domo, konbanwa. Konbanwa. Sodayo. Konbanwa. Lele, hai. Hai lele. Udah selesai mainnya. So. A is for April Fools and ASMR. 新しいのマイク分かってきました。そうだからこういうことできるんだよ、マジで。どうもみんな、どうも。みんな元気かい？元気かな？元気かの？大丈夫ですか？みんな本当に大丈夫ですか？Apa kebetulan mic yang super bagus? Ada. Mic baru apa yang kemarin-kemarin mic baru? Atarashii no katekimashita. So. Baru beli. Terus kalian kenapa profitnya sama semua? just have some stereo setting, you know. Jadi aja mau pamer mic baru nih. So kamu nih. Nggak ada kabar tahu-tahu begitu. Can you tell which is which? What's up with the chat? Just forget them. They don't mind them. They're usually like that. Well, it is stream. ASMR. You know, those kind of things. Soだよ。まあ。大丈夫だろう。別に。やめないと。みんなやめないと怒られちゃうよ。怒るよ私。マジで怒るから。なんだ。はい、So, first of all, this will be a little bit of announcement. This will be the mic that I will always use for voice acting stream. Jadi, begitulah. Hai. Second of all, via request, diobrol hari ini. Mantap. Via request diobrol. Jadi 15.000 atau $1. Hai. Yaro. Yarimashou. Nanda. Malah kalian yang dikerjain. Iyalah, April Fool ya. Ada aja kenapa pas nggak punya duit sih? Ya gimana ya? Hai, nandaro. Minna genki. Gimana kalian? Hari ini gimana kabarnya? Baik-baik aja kah? Cerita dong. Malam Nindi. Hai, ibu ada request pianya. Enggak genki. So, I regret using headphone on this stream. Why do you regret using headphone for this stream? Ya, Nanda. そんなことはダメだか。Well, is it that bad? Really? Gak denger aku merem. Kamu having fun ya, Mas? Ya, あれも恥ずかしいんだけど。恥ずかしいよ、マジ。Well. Gak denger aku lepas otak. Nande? My sister wake up because of me screaming. Kasihan adiknya lo. Udah jam begini. The mic is so good, I know, right? The mic is so good. This is just a free talk stream, guys. It's just a free talk stream. So let's just talk freely. If you can, of course. You know. Oh my god. なんか恥ずかしい。これ恥ずかしいな。なんだ。おい、we're all weak. やめろって。やめた方がいいの？ち let me recover. Oke. Diarchive kan? Diarchive nggak ya? Bagusnya diarchive nggak? Maunya diarchive nggak? Shall I archive this stream? Nggak nih. Contoh nih, mate kudasai. Nanika ga atte. There's something up. There's what? Adios. Hai Shia. Jantung saya olahraga, awas nggak diarchive? Maksudnya saya nggak bisa lama-lama. Kenapa? Kenapa nggak bisa lama-lama? Sini aja. Angle for viral. Suka ya Bianca ya? Yabai. これがやばいですか? やっぱりダメだね。これ楽しいね。やっぱり楽しいね。Reza, stop it. なんで? I think I will be sleeping in the middle of the stream. Should I just stop? Is that what you guys want? Seru banget ya, Ja. Seru ya. Ara. Dari Kumi. Oh. Ayo selesai aja ya, sayang. Berani ini bisa temenin ya seharian. Hai, an announcement. Jadi karena kalian ini ya, karena goal kita untuk 20k sekarang nggak nyampe. Jadi VA buat villain stream. Jadi donation goal aja. Saya mau ini nih. Saya mau ini kana? 大丈夫かな? それ. Villain stream, yes. Villain? Yeah. Yes. Udah tanggal 1 kan, udah pada gajian katanya. Ara. Dari Iva. Oh my god. Nih. Sayang. Jangan lupa istirahat ya. I love you. Dari ibumu. Dek, pesendang turu. Kalau ndak, Mas klonin lo. Contoh nande tayo. Nande tayo. Nih, omaeさ. 大丈夫ですか? 大丈夫だ。僕は大丈夫だよ。君は? If you suffer, you must suffer as well. No. Kau cari pasal sendiri. Senangkah begitu, Mas? Senangkah? Ara. Dari Luna, agak galak. Kalian kenapa jam segini nyoba ngeprank Eja? Berani ya sekarang? No, see you in hell. Boku wa daijoubu da yo. I am concerned. Nande? Why are you concerned? But yeah, basically I bought a new mic. これ楽しいじゃん。マジ楽しいじゃん。 Tanoshimi. Hi Joshua. I'm feeling weak in the knees. Gak tahu tadi ngomong apa. Is this fun to you? Are you sure, Sasar? Yes, it is really fun for me. Happy April Fools. Pamer sih pamer, tapi gak gitu juga. Gak wah gitu kah? Gak mau. Ya udah, gak usah buy roll deh. Gak apa-apa, diganti settingnya gitu ya. Nih, nande ya, Mai. 大丈夫ですか、お姉さん。お姉ちゃん。お姉ちゃん、大丈夫ですか？お兄ちゃんたち大丈夫ですか、お兄ちゃん。ねえ、お兄ちゃん。大丈夫？ Sorry, suara atas. Sebabnya Errol nggak bisa dibuka Wansol. I cannot believe this man bought a binaural for April Fools. そうだね、やっぱり。バカ見て。You can't use that voice. How long is this film gonna be? For my mental health. Terus nih trafficnya rame pasti. So? Ara, Riana Blue. Selamat pagi sayang. Pagi ini pengen makan apa? Omurice? Sandwich? Atau cintaku? Sorry, nih, apa sih? Cotto, deh kira. Jadi dong, kamu udah mau pergi? Nanti aja sendirian dong. Temenin bentar ya. Yamero, hazukashii, cotto. Hazukashii. Ne, nandayo. Wow, selamat tengah malam Eja, selamat tengah malam. Oh Lord. Let's do our favorite line. Fine. I guess you're my little PogChamp. Come here.
Hai. Udah pada mau tidur ya? Singer-songwriter dan voice chronicle adalah NIJISANJI. Nama aku adalah Reza Avanluna. Awan tayo. Unfortunately, Reza is not here. There's a little bit of a problem with his existence. It is something that is being worked on right now. But I don't think there's any other way to do this. Kronos is doing his best to get him back. But that alone, I don't think is enough. That is why I'm here. To do the things that we already know works. And I guess it is my time for me to do this for him. Singularity Point, Part 2. Nebulae of Hopes. I need to tell everyone his story. That maybe that way he will be back. Now shall we start from the beginning then? Singularity Point, Part 2. Nebulae of Hopes, Chapter 1. Meaning. What does it mean? Your name. I thought it's supposed to be Hope. Your first name? Yes. My mother once told me that it literally means hope. And that is the reason you don't like to be called by such a name. Yes. Clearly I fail to be anyone's hope. Yeah? You're my hope though. Sure. What a shame. It's a meaningful name. I'll use it one day. Once we find our own hope. It does have a nice ring to it after all. Reza. There's something wrong with the rain today. It is not letting up. The boy sitting in his lonely chair around the balcony of a 2-story tall house is Reza Avanluna. The house is sandwiched by 2 others in similar design in the middle of a suburban housing complex, It was his. Something that somehow he inherited from someone. Awan, huh? The boy walks down through the staircase, passing by a small framed photograph of two people. A guy and a girl. The guy looks exactly like him. Complete with the black messy hair and a pair of hairpins on the left side. Purple. Good choice, Army, he said while chuckling. The girl is a red-haired young woman, probably around her 20s. She has her hair down to a side braid. Neat. In the picture, both of her hands are latching onto the guy's left arm. Lovingly, with a wide smile contrasting the boy's awkward frown. Reza knows the girl well. Too well. Well, next time you show up, please don't do the jump scare. Thank you for all of your help until now, Lily. Now it's my turn. The boy says as he wipes the dust off the picture frame before walking away. Reza's past is not something that is simple to tell. He was born in a loving family, but with a sense of incompleteness in his mind. His childhood was quite normal but detached from what's happening around him. Crossroads. The place he worked at before was a clone of the real crossroads he's finally in right now. Most of his life is true, but some parts are lies, or rather, concealed truth. Lily was the one guiding him through his life since his childhood. Just the lady in the mirror and voices in his head that showed up sometimes. When he realized the truth, that he wasn't even the original of himself, Lily was the one who brought him back to his senses. Life is something he gained from Awan and managed to go through because of Lily. At this point, those two are like my parents. They do look like my actual parents, though. Sheesh, have some imagination, Awan. Suddenly, a knock on the door surprised Reza. Looking through the window, he saw a half-elfin girl standing in front of the door, a little covered by a black umbrella she's using. She wears a set of blue dress covered with a black coat, reaching almost the heels of her combat boots. Reaching to the doorknob, Reza hesitates a bit. Ashley? Ariana? Avitaminosis? Oh, he opens the door. Miss Annalie, welcome. Really? Avitaminosis. She snaps back. Random words in my mind? No matter. Follow me. Let me get my things. After getting all his equipment, including a new set of old bow and arrows, tucked around the corner of the living room, he departs from the house with Annalie. They walk along the path from the residential area towards the Chronicler's HQ, right beside the tower. Along the way, Annalie decided to explain things to him. What we need to do is investigate the remnants of a contact with Timeless Power sale a while ago. I see. A couple of Chroniclers were attacked in X-284's Cromwell. For us, it happened roughly 8 to 9 months ago, but we'll go there to a week after the incident in their timeline. Time traveling, huh? Fancy. You don't sound exactly excited. I'm just not too familiar with the whole context. Isn't it dangerous? Time traveling? Is that why we need all these people? Reza raised a folder full of files. He's reading through the walk. Annalie stopped, puzzled by Reza's ignorance. She takes a look at the genuinely confused young men. It was simply a walk-in, take things, run out kind of mission. Time travel in itself isn't that much of a problem either. I don't even think we need this many. Oh, you hear me? Sorry, Miss Annalie. It's my first time doing things with others. That's not Oh, right, you're Reza. I do understand the circumstances, but clearly you're just not paying attention. Sorry? Eh? The man scratches his non-itchy hair. He's smiling a bit silly. But seriously, first time, huh? You don't seem to be a first-time chronicler. Well, the old man sure did mess with a lot of things. Timeline, different dimensions, fake crossroads. I don't know, seriously. What's going on mostly? As far as I remember, I've been doing things alone. You'll get used to working in a group. I'll introduce you to Efrain. What's with that commotion? Annalise shifted, focusing in a certain direction. She squints, trying to understand the situation. Reza realized what's happening before he followed her gaze to a certain building in the middle of the whole town. A tower is standing tall there. Its almost pitch black walls contrast the silvery relief around it. Not exactly understanding what he's looking at, Reza just scoffed. That one, around the main tower entrance, looked like someone is being arrested. That is rare. Reza doesn't really know what to say. He tilts his head, trying to assess the situation. He sees a crowd of chroniclers following a group of Crossroads Council members escorting a man. He was a chubby young man wearing a set of white t-shirt and white pants. His glasses reflect the light from the sun, covering the details of his face that's being poked by a mass of curly hair. As if something just lit up in his mind, Reza's eyes widened. Looking back at Reza, who looks stunned, Annalie pokes his shoulder with the folder she's holding. Reza? Still fixated on the crowd, Reza mumbles in response. That guy. Is that... Kay? What? You know him? No, actually I don't. That's kinda, weird. It is clear in her face that Annalie is puzzled and at the same time a bit annoyed by the predicament. She just shrugs it off. It is the Crossroads after all. Questionable stuff for a questionable realm. That's what. Letting out a wee sigh, she just continues walking towards the place for a briefing. Reza just follows her without any question asked. Uranometria. There's a small pub in the midst of the town of Crossroads, peacefully hiding beyond a small alley. Its small European design blends well with the surrounding buildings, with matching ornaments above the wooden door out front in the shape of a constellation. There's no sign of magic around, nor is there a series of concealment text, but everyone except the chroniclers seem to be ignoring the whole building. Annalie leads Reza into the establishment. No one is inside but a 2-meter-tall old man with gray skin. His bald head glistens under the dim light of the pub as he stands on the wooden floor. A faint, slow jazz music is playing in the background, filling up the silence, following the old man's expression, who is clearly shocked by what he's looking at. You really do look exactly like him. The old man fixes his composure as he walks toward Reza. He extends his hand to him. You can just call me Rez. Intimidated by the sheer size of the middle-aged half-giant, Reza reaches out to his hand and shakes it. His hand is barely half the size of the old man's. Nice to meet you, sir.
Where's that kid? I believe Leo is the one who has the information.
I think he's going to be a bit late, Dad. The council arrested someone earlier, so Leo is definitely on it. Give it an hour or two. Annalie takes a seat behind one of the tables in the empty pub, bored.
I see. Well, there's nothing we can do about it then.
Rez walks behind the bar and helps himself a cup of tea.
You have any question, kid?
Right. Reza sits across Rez, taking out a small notebook from his pocket. What's a timeless parse again?
From there, huh?
I'm technically new to this kind of investigation.
Oh yeah, I heard about you a lot. To make it simple, those people are traders of the Crossroads.
So they are chroniclers.
They were chroniclers.
I see. Taking a couple of notes, Reza noticed a glass of water provided by Reza already, sitting beside his right hand. He nods quite deeply before taking a sip of that glass.
Being able to go around other worlds and
Multiple timelines sure gave a lot of people the idea of power. That, plus their announcement ritual, made some people forget who they are supposed to be. A protector? No, a bystander. That's who we are. Rich coming from a dad who almost broke the taboo. Just nonchalantly Annalie butted in. He doesn't need to know about it, Anne. In the end, timeless per se is something like a cancer for this realm and others connected to it. What? The timeless per se? The front door suddenly opens. A young man enters without any warning. It's Ptolemaeus Kell, someone for whom the three are waiting. Oh, Leo, I thought you needed maybe a couple of hours. Didn't someone get caught in the tower? Change of plans. Annalie and Reza, the council needs you there now. Reza, stay here. I'll brief you on some things. Wait, Leo, can you please explain some things first? Has the mission changed or something? Annalie stopped. Leo steps in confusion. No time. It's about Awan and Lillian. Well, this guy here. Leo said while pointing at Reza. The council is in a dire confusion regarding certain existences. No time to explain. Just go now. They'll brief you on it. But Leo, and let's just go. It's the higher-ups' orders. Reza walks to the door. He pauses a moment before he exits to look back at Reza, giving him a little reassuring nod. In an instant, the father-daughter pair is gone. Leo stares at Reza for a not-so-brief moment. His shoulder drooped down. He looks tired, but then his expression changes to full of pity. He takes off his eye patch, revealing a huge scar on top of his right eyelid. He then signals to Reza to take off his dreamcatcher necklace too. Reza follows suit. This never happened before to him, but at least Reza knows what that taking off the dreamcatcher means. Not even the head of the Crossroad Council can listen to what they're talking about. Are you happy, Reza? Leo's tone sounds a little concerning. Taking a few seconds to think, Reza responds hesitantly. Is that supposed to be sarcastic? Leo chuckles kindly. Not at all. Some people are just worried about your happiness, I guess. Do you mean Lily or Awan? I only heard about him from the old man and Lily though, so I'm not sure. If you ask whether I'm happy right now or not, I can say that it's normal. I'm not really unhappy, but happiness in itself is quite complex, I guess. The concept of happiness itself— Stop! Leo can't seem to control his laughter that cuts off Reza's train of thought. How can you take Awan's overthinking and enhance it with Lily's chattiness? Sorry? No, thank you. That cheered me up a little bit. Leo takes a deep breath, gaining back composure. I see, so Awan is an overthinker. Yeah, totally. Anyway, about your next mission, it's about them, isn't it? Ending all the laughter, Reza's sudden serious tone pierces through. Leo conjures a folder from a shelf under the bar. It's full of files. Icodon, For me to be brought here to the real Crossroads, the mission is definitely something connected to my existence. Besides, I've been asking the timekeeper for the full story myself. Then I don't need to choose my words for the explanation. You're going to decide where they were attacked. The whole incident has never been investigated before in fear of chronological storm or anything around it. You, Singularity, is the perfect operator for this. That makes sense. Tell me everything I need to know. Leo put down the folder on the bar. Everything you need is there. Read it. Reza takes the folder then starts to read what is inside. It's a full explanation of the incident, where, when, why, and how it happened. There's a few details redacted from the files. It's not exactly a rare occurrence, so he is used to it. This is quite detailed, and judging from the contents, there's no one I can ask about the incident. Am I right? Yes, no one is really involved except this backup. Backup? What backup? Head of the Intelligent Division, right? You did a great job erasing some of the contents here, but it's clear Awan and Lily didn't go through the whole battle by themselves. Judging from the text alone, someone is definitely helping them. Is it someone from the council? Leo's eyes widened. He's nodding in approval to this new investigator's ability, but then again, he's a clone of Awan. That's probably why. You're good. You know that. I'm just used to this. Reza takes another sip from his glass of water. So? IPD. A close friend of theirs, I think, is an IPD officer. I never met the guy, but someone told me about him once. Still can't identify him though. IPD, huh? That's a bit of a problem. Only higher-ups know the deals with IPD. Exactly, it's a lost lead. There's no choice then. Reza gets up. I need to go to the site. You're gonna be okay alone? I'm used to it. Thank you, Mr. Kel. Leo. Just call me Leo. End of chapter 1. Chapter 2. Space and Time Continuum. Is this what it means to be happy? Probably. Do you not like it? I feel guilty about it somehow. There's nothing to do but to get used to it. I'll keep being happier from now on. That's an optimistic way to say things. We have nothing else after all. Will this last forever? Who knows? Whether or not it lasts forever won't change the fact that this is happiness. I see. Tower of the Crossroads Council, 45th floor, research lab. A glass cage is standing firm in the center of a room, far deep into the building. A young man is sitting in it. He's of a slight chubby build with messy hair, wearing a thick pair of glasses. His clothing is all white, pure and clean from any kind of dirt. He's leaning against the glass wall of the cage, looking at the door, waiting for someone he knows will definitely come. 3, 2, 1, here goes the timekeeper! He shouts like a football game announcer. Will he scold me first? Will he destroy my very existence? Will he throw a chair? Enough! A voice cut the young man off. It came from an old man around 5 meters tall, whose beard is braided, long enough to reach his chest. He wears a black suit covered by white robe, simple but neat. A monocle is magically attached to his nose, covering his right eye. Angered, but calm at the same time, the old man is clearly doing his best holding his emotion. No need to be that angry, Lord Timekeeper. You're talking to a baby! The old man is Lord Timekeeper, the embodiment of time and observer of the multiple worlds. He raises his right hand and slams the glass pane. Kronos, you bastard! What did you do? For the love of Lord Timekeeper, what do you mean? I was literally born around, how long again? 7 hours ago, exactly! I was born 7 hours ago, so what could I possibly do? Kronos, the young man, shrugs his shoulders sarcastically, but it is clear that there's a hint of guilt in his eyes. Putting someone in millions of time loops, that's what! Calm down, old man. Everything ended nicely, didn't it? I was just doing what you told me to do. I was just fulfilling someone's wish to make sure that Reza is happy. Ironic is what the sentence sounds like, but shaking is how the voice goes out. A single tear is forming around the corner of Kronos' right eye, but he still maintains the shaky, smug smile that he's been showing. The timekeeper sees it, so he takes a deep breath. He once again asks calmly, "What have you done?" I was there just like you told me to. I maintained the pocket dimension, where you wanted him to live in. I was there to make sure that he obtained happiness, but he wasn't. The world is a miserable place. I lived in it for the first few years there just to realize how hard it is just to be able to smile. There's hardly any second chances and nothing ever lasts for a long time. How can someone be happy in that bullshit anyone calls a life? So you start a loop instead? What kind of logic is that? It was to give him a second chance, old man. He had a dream. I wanted to see him smile. So just once, I wanted to give him a chance to fulfill it, but yet again he failed. It wasn't even his fault. The world, any world is unforgiving. The look in Kronos' eyes turns bitter. He stands up and approaches the timekeeper, stopping in front of him behind a glass wall. So I gave him another chance, then another one, and another one. I decided to stay by his side without any interference just to see him falling over and over and over again, screwed by the unfairness of fate. So you start tampering with things and mess with the flow instead. Yes! That was required for me to fulfill the one thing you wanted me to do. Don't you lie! At that stage, it's no longer about your duty as the administrator of that world. Of course it wasn't! You're the one who sent me, no, us, to that shithole anyone calls life as a human being. Both you and the fucking retarded original of Reza Avanluna, the two of you decided that it is right to give us life. We didn't choose this. Be careful of what you say, Kronos. You shush! Shut up, old man. We didn't choose to be given emotions, dreams, goals, feelings, chances, or even sentience, just to be crushed by the reality of it. You brought me into that life of being lost, of feeling hatred to my own very existence. Lord Timekeeper stayed there in silence. Disbelief is what they felt. The piece of his power that was born out of necessity and a wish of a dear friend can feel this much emotion from being born as a pseudo-sentient being. I probably deserve it. Really, old man. I'm always the unwanted, disgraceful child of no purpose. But Reza, he didn't. He was just a product of someone's selfishness. Yet, he needed to go through the miserable thing called life. And yet, he told me to end his endless happiness for the very person who put him in his misery. And yet, you're the one marching in this place angry? Just so you know, we never asked for the life that had been given to us. Enough with your nonsense! Cold air fills the room. A towering woman steps into the research facility with anger clear in her eyes. Hiding behind thousands of excuses, you're just as pathetic as a non-functional stapler in my office. Hearing such remarks, Kronos' breathing turned unstable. He can feel boiling blood rushing through his vein, clouding his judgment of the situation. This lady is insane, is probably what he's thinking of right now. His lips waver as he collects his thoughts into one, only to fail at it. Pathetic! Pathetic, you say? What do you know? Being trapped in a life so futile, as if you're just lost constantly in an endless maze, is a lifelong torture. Pathetic! His happiness was the one at stake. He couldn't even let out any melodies properly. His muse was suppressed by the expectation that kept quite a point, aren't you, criminal? Swift. She cut him off. Get off your high horse. You're doing this for your own selfishness. Singularity is one thing I don't agree with, but lying, it's pathetic. Lying. What do you know? What do you fucking know about my life case? Number 135K7208. Yes, I got all the files of your loops from this old man here. The woman slaps a folder on the floor. Your so-called mission has been finished since long ago, Kronos. On your 135th loop, Reza Avanluna reached happiness, but you still reset everything back anyway. Pathetic, Kronos, pathetic! No, that was... What about 742K2865? Funnily enough, you were bored of the usual world. You changed it into something else. Reza was a hero there and got everything he ever needed, but you still changed it back. Pathetic! I can't explain. 1547689K5232. Whoa, you reach millions, I see. There's no star. There's no spotlight. The only thing that existed was a happy small family living their peaceful life. A peaceful but happy life. What did you do? You took it away from him. You started another loop. Pathetic! Stop! There's still a huge pile of these files, kiddo, said the lady as she dropped all the files in her hands to the floor, filling the room with folders. Before Kronos even managed to say anything, the woman continues. She crouches down, staring into Kronos, who lost the strength of his legs, leaning to the glass wall. Do you know what happened there, kid? In all those instances of the loops, he reaches happiness without you. He was happy in those times, but you were not. You couldn't take that fact that you puppeteered the world again as you wanted. You did this for yourself. It was never for that child. You just couldn't stand the fact that you were never needed in the first self. Selfish. Pathetic. Stop! 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 Kronos slams his arm over and over and over again to the glass wall. What do you know? What do you know about living aimlessly without any purpose? What do you know about feeling like your existence doesn't mean anything to... You better take that back, Kronos. Hellman cut him off. Kronos stares back to the woman's eyes, realizing something. You are Asmodeus. Lady Asmodeus stands up, looking down at the young man with a gaze full of pity. I know how it feels, kid. Silence fills the scene. Only a faint hum of a machine at the end of the research lab filling the void. A cold stream starts to flow down Kronos' right eye. His lips are trembling. Suppressing all the overwhelming emotion is filling his nails dig deep into his left arm, creating streams of blood. Then, his hesitant voice breaks the silence. Then, what am I supposed to do? I was destined to be an observer. Someone who lives far away from everyone's gaze. I had no choice but to live behind his back. I had no choice but to live as the one behind the scenes. I had no choice but to lie to myself that Reza's life is mine too. I had no choice but to pretend that everyone looks at me too when they look at him. Because only then I mean something. Only then, when I don't show myself, will the world actually listen to what I wanted to say. I've known since too long ago how pathetic I am. Letting out a long sigh, Asmodeus closes her eyes for a second. She then turns her focus to the timekeeper. There you go. That's what you wanted to know, right? Now let me bring him to the underworld. Chapter 3. Definition of hope. Mountain or the beach? The beach is too hot. If we're going to live there, then it's the mountain. But you don't think we will... Don't you think we will be too far away from everything? Then, let's just live in the city. It's not fun that way.
Oh, good day, Mr. Moon.
Wait,
Howard, Mr. Moon, it's Howard.
The confused young man is Reza Avanluna being stranded in X284's Cromwell town to investigate the incident against Timeless Parse. In this timeline right now, it occurred a couple weeks ago. Reza was just entering the town when an unknown elderly man greeted him with such a bright smile on his face. He did see Howard's name on one of the briefing files, but still, it surprised him. Right, good day, Mr. Howard. Everything's going well as usual?
Are you even in any position to ask the question, Mr. Moon? Your house is still a huge mess. How's your wife? She isn't with you today.
Reza is dumbfounded by the question. He rolls up the sleeves of his coat a few seconds to process all that question before realizing what Howard meant. There's no file stating that Awan and Lee were married, but for knowing how Lily is, it does make sense that she will make such a joke. They had been dating each other for a few years after all. Right, of course. Reza just let it off. She's with our friend in nearby city. She still needs some rest. I'm here to take care of the house. Lying is, after all, a chronicler's specialty. In Reza's case, though, it's role-playing. Anyone visiting the place this past weeks, Howard?
No one dares to even clean the place up. Besides, you're the one who told us to let it be.
Howard waves his hand, reassuring that it is untouched. That's great. Thank you, sir. I'll get going. If you take a stroll to the east for around 30 minutes, you will see a small house in an area that's not really well populated. It's on top of a hill that's hard to build on. A one-story building is standing there, surrounded by flowers of all colors, and a huge tree in the backyard. Or at least that's what it was before the attack. Reza sighs weakly. He's standing on the field that's supposed to be full of flowers, looking into the empty house through a broken door that's barely hanging on a single hinge. He walks to the backyard looking at what happened to the tree growing there. A maple tree, something that's quite unfamiliar to Reza, is resting peacefully in the backyard. It contrasts with the wounds that are filling up the ground full of wilted flowers. It is an unknown yet familiar scenery for him. The wind blows like it's holding Reza's wavering stance. He can feel a drop of tears flowing down his right cheek, as if only one half of him is crying. No, only a half of him is able to cry. Are you crying, mister? A sudden small voice startled Reza, who was frozen in his thoughts. He turns around to find the source. He saw a trio of children around the age of 5. The boy in the middle has his head bandaged, while another has their right arm on a sling. Reza immediately wipes his tears off. Oh, no. It was the wind. I got dust in my right eye, see? Reza crouches down to get to the children's eye level. Looking for something, guys? The kids are fidgeting, clearly doubtful of what they're going to say. The only thing in Reza's mind is a whole train contemplating whether or not he is intimidating to these children. He smiles, a tad bit forcing it. He doesn't exactly know what to say to these children, nor does he know why they are even here. Tearing down the awkwardness, a pair of footsteps echoes beyond the walls of the shambling house. A lady emerged from the back door of them, passing through the interior. She is carrying a basket full of flowers and a few pieces of bread. She has a menacing expression of an annoyed mother before changing into a caring one. Mr. Moon, I am so sorry for what happened to your house. Those vile bandits need to pay for this. It's all right. They're already taken care of. Reza stands up, slowly understanding what's happening. How is Mrs. Moon? Is she doing all right? She's staying at a friend's place in the city right now. There's nothing to worry about. The lady takes a glance toward the children. They look anxious about the whole situation. They started being restless the moment the lady started to talk about Lily. I see. Noticing that, Reza crouches back down and looks at the children in the eyes. The report, he read them all. In a particular part of the report was a statement given by Awan regarding the very thing that happened to Lily. At that time, Awan covered the injured children from attack by the Timeless, but Lily then covered for him. These kids are probably... She's strong. She's a hero just like you guys are, he says as he pats one of the children's heads. Mr. Moon, the lady's unconvinced. She's alright, said Reza once more, but a little bit firmer. He doesn't look at the lady in the eye, showing that it is a lie. The mother understands it without even any other explanation. She immediately grabs one of the children's shoulders, then she pulls him back. Let's go home. Take care, Mr. Moon. Thank you, ma'am. Reza stands, then walks into the house. There's absolutely nothing to find in the house. Just as the file stated, it's full of what the standard couple living together will have. A huge bed, a nice living room, sets of clothing, and so on. There's just marks of battle here and there inside the house. Scouring the place, he found nothing new. Come on, Asia, I know you can do this. The only thing weird about them living here is the fact that they already have a bang-on super place at the crossroads, right? Yeah, they weren't on a mission, they weren't running away from anything. The town isn't really a tourist attraction, and there's only that one other reason. Reza slams the files he brought from Crossroads on the coffee table in the living room. He flips through everything in it. If there's no logical reason for a couple of chroniclers to live in a while in the world, then the reason is definitely illogical. They're humans. Brooke once said that too. Maybe the question is, and why Cromwell? It's probably why live Crossroads at all. Come on, Owen. Why do you need a stable time flow? What's so important about living outside of a chaotic flow of Crossroads time? Reza takes another look at his surroundings. Something felt off. He somehow feels like he's been in the air before even... Though theoretically he's never here. He takes his steps slowly around the house as if he's measuring everything with his eyes. Living room, main bedroom, the toilet, back door, kitchen. This is the exact home from the Crossroads. This layout matched perfectly with the first floor of that home, but there's a storms towards the right side of that house, reaching a corner at the end. It's empty. There's nothing in that dead end. There's nothing on the wall. There's nothing on the ceiling. Reza takes a scrap wooden bar on the floor, then he closes his eyes. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I mean, Awan and Lily, Reza says jokingly before raising the wooden bar. He swings the thing in his hand full force to what he thinks the storage room door is supposed to be. As the wooden bar hits the wall, it creates a big gaping hole quite easily. Reza smiles, knowing that he found something even the council investigators couldn't. He hits the wall repeatedly to widen the gap. He then walks in. It's a small room with a tiny crystal floating in the middle. Quite high up, almost reaching the ceiling. It's shining a faint white light filling the room with a gentle warmth unlike the generally cold, empty house. A table is resting in the center of the room, and on top of it is a bassinet. Why is this here? Reza walks to the wooden bassinet with a small cushion in it. It's decorated with rose gold small ornaments in the shape of lilies and clouds. He hesitantly inspects the bassinet, worried that he would actually see a baby in it. Instead, he found a metallic piece of a dream catcher connected to a small thread and a few feathers. This is... no way. Crossroads, clear sky. The birds are chirping, accompanied by the melodious hum of the wind going through the window of a certain old man's office. It is finally a peaceful day after a whole chaos that is the captive of Kronos. Lord Timekeeper is enjoying his downtime without a care in the world. It is, after all, a beautiful day. Old man! The piece is suddenly crushed to pieces by a loud voice, followed by a loud bang on the huge door being forcefully opened. A young man wearing a blue jacket, tripled by a pair of t-shirts underneath, walks in. It is Reza with Dreamcatcher with purple feathers in his hand. Reza, you're no longer in that space. Here, you actually need permission. No matter, I know the answer. I found what you need me to find. Reza raises his hand, the one holding the Dreamcatcher. Elaborate, Reza. There's nothing to elaborate on. You already know all of this. Lily was pregnant, wasn't she? Lord Timekeeper stays silent. He offers Reza no explanation. Knowing that, Reza just continues without any care to whatever the old man is thinking right now. You told me that I'm the singularity, as if the singularity is only singular, but what is a singularity anyway? Something that defies the flow of nature, existence, and time flow? Something that can't be affected by either existence or even the role of existence? Am I really a product of his chaotic wish and your over-the-top power? I think not. Slow down, Reza. No can do. I'm not slowing down, old man. Reza stomps hard on the floor with determination ignited in his eyes. He is someone whose existence has no homeworld. Well, she is a piece of a homeworld without any other existence, but what is existence to begin with? Isn't Lily supposed to have fallen? If so, then why do some of us still remember her? Why does this, Reza puts the Dreamcatcher on the Timekeeper's desk, still exist? Lord Timekeeper takes the Dreamcatcher, studying the thing. He strokes his rainbow-colored beard, assessing the history of such a thing. Let me continue. Just like me, this beautiful thing is also a singularity. Both makers of the bloody thing are somewhere in the void, almost ceasing to exist, but the Dreamcatcher lives on. That means just like me, this singularity was created by a weird entanglement of two unique existence in this multiverse of things. That entanglement is... Reza suddenly pauses. He is hesitating. This entanglement is... Reza... Knowing what he's going to say next, Lord Timekeeper decided to tease the young man. You know what it is. It's embarrassing to say. Lord Timekeeper breaks into laughter. He's looking at the young man proudly with a smile that then turns into a serious frown. Something is missing in Reza's explanation. Continue, Reza. I believe you're onto something. Okay. Maintaining his composure, Reza stands firm. Theory of existence. Every part of one existence is connected to each other. Just like me, this thing here is also the product of Awan and Lily's existence. If I pour a little bit of my existence into this thing, then I too will be connected to it. That does make sense. So what are you planning? If I put this thing somewhere in the void as an anchor point, once Awan and Lily find each other, they will be able to find their way to it. And you're saying they can use you as the anchor point afterwards? Exactly. They can then go home to the crossroads because I will be connected to the Dreamcatcher the same way. Reza is proud. He holds his chin high with a huge grin on his face. It is what you would usually call a genius idea. It is magnum opus. It's the peak of his performance as a words chronicler, pushing his limit to study all this time. No. A stern voice slams Reza's confidence down to the ground. Wait, why? Why? Isn't this what you want? We can bring both of them back.
Do you know the consequences of tying up your existence to a thing encoded void?
Of course! I learned this before. An existence time loop is not that big of a deal.
Time loop is always a grave torture, Reza.
A loud thud echoes throughout the room. It's from the desk that's cracked due to the sheer strength of Lord Timekeeper's hand. It's not like it's gonna be a full-on time loop. I won't forget anything. I will just stay in this handsome form of a 23-year-old man.
That is worse. You will remember everything for the next year to come, as if you're experiencing it again and again. You will slowly lose track of what's happening in the past and the present. You will feel like it's your future happening. Deja vu! I told you this before.
Shaken by the intimidating voice of a timekeeper, Reza takes a step back. He holds his legs that are shaking. He knew this was going to happen, but he still couldn't prepare himself for such a shutdown. He takes a deep breath, determined. He looks at the timekeeper, strong. I am willing to go through it. Reza, old man, send me to the void. No. Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. A question answered. You know, behind those snarky comments and foul mouth that you have, you're quite a cute kid, Kronos. The playful voice of Lady Asmodeus pierces through the pride of Kronos, who is sitting on a single couch. His ankle is cuffed to the leg of that couch in front of the heat coming from a fireplace in the heart of the mansion he's in. Asmodeus' mansion. Shut up, old hack. Immediately following his comment, a pair of scissors reaches to his neck. It's close, extremely close. 5 glaring Asmodeus eyes scan through his soul, tearing it apart layer by layer. Surprised and in fear, Kronos whimpers. See? What a cute baby boy. Asmodeus gets up from her seat. She walks around to the living room, reaching behind Kronos, who is wary of her movement. Asmodeus puts her hand on Kronos' shoulders and grips it really hard. Maintaining the pain, Kronos barely has any energy left to control his breathing. But that can't be it, right? We're both born within the chaos of void time flow, so I know you're better than this. I don't know what you're talking about. You deliberately tried to anger the timekeeper in the lab. You were trying to make him take you. You want me to punish you? What for? What for indeed? Asmodeus walks back and forth continuously, annoying Kronos to submission. It's so used, and it's so I sent you to the void. That's the harshest punishment anyone will get if they do anything funny in the crossroads. The question is, why? I already know what you're trying to make me do. I refuse to comply. The pair of scissors is once again getting closer to Kronos' neck. I'm not going to the void anymore. Even if the singularity is there now. Kronos' heart skips one beat in shock. It starts to beat really fast following the news that he just got. It's a bluff. That's what he's telling himself over and over again before he truly said it. it's it's a bluff. I can't read you. Yeah? But that's what R told me though. You sure can see me telling you the truth right now, can't you? Asmodeus grins widely. She isn't lying. The grim truth plants itself in Kronos' mind. She isn't lying. Reza in the void is the last thing he wanted to find. She isn't lying, but why? Why is he there? Doesn't he understand it will destroy almost everything? He will be haunted by the past in that empty darkness of a place. Get me there. I need to get him back. There you go. Well, I can definitely send you there. Only if you tell me the reason to help him, of course. Asmodeus chuckles. She pats the back of Kronos' head. Silly child. That's not the full question. She walks away, freeing Kronos' neck from her grasp. Dragging a chair to the side of the couch Kronos is sitting in. Her playful face turns dark, untrusting, suspicious. Why? Product of chaotic time flow? Why did you end up the loop? It helps a lot, but it doesn't make any sense. What are you planning to do? Kronos looks at her in disbelief. It never even crossed his mind before anything bad can be taken from his act in the end. He takes a deep breath, calmly. I'm not planning anything. He asked me to end it. I did. That is all. Then please do tell. Asmodeus takes a paper from her pocket, filled with her information. She drops it to the ground in between the two of them. The faded eye sees through all lies. The godmother is the witness of your heart to your cries. The paper lights up and creates a dome covering the two. Asmodeus grins. Go on. Tell me what happened at your last loop. Fine. Earth, of unknown origin, and of the infinite loop. The sun was blindingly bright that day, even though a rainstorm was visibly coming from afar. Strong gusts of wind swishing through the city in a brink of destruction. Chronological storm, that's what it is called. A period where the time flow got tangled with itself. A period where the past, present, and the possible future are happening at the same time and affecting each other. A period where the world itself is being pushed to inexistence. Standing on a rooftop of an 80-story tall building was a plus-sized man in his 20s, wearing a long white coat over what seems to be a messy pair of t-shirt and jeans. He fixed the position of his glasses that almost got blown away by the storm. He took a deep breath, letting out a long sigh afterwards. Kronos, so there you are. A man emerged from the emergency staircase door wearing a blue jacket with the Union Jack on one of the sleeves. His dreamcatcher bumped against his chest multiple times due to the wind, but he didn't care. He took a few short steps towards the man wearing a white coat, the one he called Kronos. Why is it always like this lately? How many times do I need to reset the world so you understand? Understand what exactly, eh? This whole bullshit needs to end now. I can't play any more of your games. Games? Are you calling this a game? After all I have done for you! Kronos turned around, staring at the young man in front of him. His eyes were tearful, his jaw was shaking. You're the one who kept pushing the reset button. It's a game for you, Kronos. Guess what? The true ending is not something you would like. Kronos clenched his fist in a fit of anger. He could feel blood rushing through the veins, reaching his brain that ceased to be able to think rationally. He was furious. You have never even tried to understand, haven't you, Reza? This was all for you! You get all the time in the world. You have unlimited chances on every single thing you wanted to do. This is your happiness, Reza. This is your eternal happiness. Don't you dare decide what happiness means to me, Kronos. You think I can call this happiness when I know the people who gave me this existence are suffering? So what? Cut Kronos mockingly. You're going to try and save them? You, alone? Yes. Knowing that they are the ones bringing you to this empty life? Yes. Knowing that you will never be able to reset the timeline anymore? Yes. Along with each question being answered, Kronos' voice got weaker and weaker. It was visibly shaken. Tears were clearly flowing down his cheeks. Even if it means you're going to suffer in the future? Yes. I see. Will that be your true happiness, Reza? Reza nodded firmly. Yes, it will. I guess you don't even need me anymore, huh? Goodbye, Reza. Silence fills the room the moment Kronos finishes his story. Asmodeus puts her head down. She looks disappointed. She starts to tap her feet multiple times to the floor in frustration. Fidgety is one word, but restless suits her more. It is quite unclear at this point. What is she really unhappy about? As if preparing herself to scold the child, Asmodeus takes a deep breath. Why? Why did you lie, Kronos? Lie? Baffled, Kronos just responds with a confused tone. Why did you lie to me? Why did you lie to him? Why did you lie to everyone? Why? Why did you lie to yourself? Asmodeus grabs Kronos' shoulders, shaking him. That wasn't the reason why you needed him to be there in that ominous time loop, was it? Kronos tries to calm himself. I didn't think he would understand. Nor did I think the world will too. Asmodeus stands up. She then crouches down to Kronos' ankle and uncuffs him. She then walks to the fireplace and taps her right index finger to the centerpiece of the mantle. A portal then opens up amidst the fire that is still warming up the living room. Go. Not to help him. Ma'am? Tell him the truth. And only the truth. Singularity Point, Part 2, last chapter. Reality check. The darkness of the void is something that can't be underestimated. Almost nothing can be seen till hundreds of meters up front. For something so dark, it's not exactly dead silent. Noises from the past can be heard echoing even from far away. Reza is standing still after walking through a portal made by a Lord Timekeeper to send him into the void. Man, it really is a void, huh? Reza takes a few steps forward, only to realize that this place is scarier than any horror gameplay he watched before. Hesitant, he still proceeds forward. 10 minutes have passed. He sees a light emerging from nothingness, not that far from where he is standing. Approaching the light, he starts to see the details of what seems to be a floating monitor. It's showing a part of Reza's past in a first-person point of view. Sheesh, I thanked that exam. Well, I see how it is now. It's the void. It's full of our own past, and it's clearly how we're going to lose our mind in this darkness. Oh. Reza sighs as he keeps on walking. There's no actual reason why he walks so far. The void is said to be infinite space, so any spot in this is the center of the void anyway. But Reza just keeps on walking. I wonder what that Awan was thinking. Coming here willingly. He then stops at a random spot in that void of darkness. He takes out the dream catcher he has in his pocket and puts it on the ground, taking a crystal bead from another pocket on his jacket. He then starts a ritual. One that will give part of his existence to the dream catcher with purple feathers on it. The dream catcher floats up and starts to shine a bright pulsing blue light. This will do. Now, on to the fun part. How the heck do I get home from here? Reza starts to walk aimlessly. He's not sure at all where he should go. At least he had the sanity to mark which way back to where he came from. Unfortunately, even after 2 hours of walking in that direction, he didn't find anything familiar. Reckless as usual, huh? Hey, being reckless and having a reckless plan are two different things. A voice startled Reza from behind. He automatically responds to it without even knowing who talked to him. As he turned around, he found a chubby man wearing a black robe with its hood up. The only thing clearly visible is the reflection of light on the lens of his glasses. All according to Keikaku? The man chuckled. It's been a while since the last time I heard that quote. Come with me. I'll show you the way back to Crossroads. Wait, how do you know I want to go back to the Crossroads? Who are you? Reza squints. Suspicious. You just confirmed it for me. The man smiled. Let's just say I'm a passerby. A passerby? In the void? Sure, of course it makes sense. Oh well, Mr. Passerby, I'll follow you. It's not like I know what I'm doing anyway. Reza just shrugs. The two start to walk towards a certain direction. A completely unknown one to Reza. Throughout the journey, Reza keeps checking the man out to make sure he's not going to attack or do anything else. Liking the void so far? The man asks. Not really, it's pitch black, but I do enjoy the past life theater though. Really? Not a lot of people enjoy such haunting experience. Well, it's not really haunting for me. My life is quite a mundane one. You know that feeling? When you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing with your existence? Something like that. I mean, look at that. To stop for a brief moment. That's from where I threw away a chocolate bar down into a pond. That other one is from when I got rejected by a girl I like. That other one is from the time I lost someone dear to me. Needed a few years to get over them, but that's pretty much it. The man starts to walk again, signaling Reza to follow suit. Quite the eventful life you had. Not really. In the end, none of those things really involve me in any way. Mundane life or a mundane existence. That's why I'm happy that I finally found my purpose. Purpose. A good one? Yep, a good one. Let's just say I'm here to help a friend. A dear friend. In a dangerous place like this void. It's not like we can choose where trouble occurs. I'm just happy that I finally have meaning. I see. The two keep walking in silence without any portal being found. The man just keeps on walking and Reza just keeps on following him while looking around at the past life theater that is around. Have you ever found it too, Mr. Passerby? What? Meaning of existence? The man doesn't even look at Reza. He just keeps his gaze straight. Yeah, probably something like that. Probably no. In any way, I can only be described as a fraud. A fraud? Yes. I could only live through a false identity. A mask someone else gave to me. Through that mask, I could feel everyone's gaze on me. Through that mask, I could see everyone listening to what I was saying to the world. My voice, my music, my thoughts. But it's only a mask. Why a mask at all though? Because the real me won't cut it. My real self is dull. He's a smart ass who is angry all the time. I regret everything I did in the past, yet I'm scared of the future. I can't stay awake for 15 hours without crying at least once, yet I can't keep my heart beat low enough for me to sleep at night. That's... You don't need to say anything. My real self is boring. The man stops and turns around to Reza. My real self is ugly and unworthy of the things I got through the mask I had. Without the mask, I am nothing. Reza feels like he needs to say something, but it's stuck in his throat. No words will come out. But he saw the man smiling. He's smiling as if he's content with what he just said. At that moment, a portal opens beside the man. Here we are. Thank you. Reza walks to the portal, but he stops his pace right before he enters it. He looks at the man and says, "Did it feel nice? Getting that out to the world, at least." I'm not so sure. I see. Goodbye, Kay. So long, Reza. And that will be the end of chapter Wait, I think wait, why am I... Have I been streaming? Wait, why am I streaming? I'm supposed to stream at 10, right? Wait, oh, well, hi, udah pada mau tidur ya? Singer-songwriter dan voice chronicle dari NIJISANJI.